Welcome to your 20-minute podcast with David Brower, brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/your 20-minute podcast. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Now, here's your host, David Brower.
Thanks, Alan. This is David Brower with your 20-minute podcast. Our special guest today is Ben Brown from South Carolina, and let's say it's right. The name of the town in South Carolina is
St. George.
I love it. We were just talking before the show started about St. George, Utah, and St. George, South Carolina, and obviously those on the east came before the west. So really great to have you here, sir. I hope you're doing well.
Everything is great. It's summertime. Everybody's enjoying leisure and heat.
Absolutely right. Ben Brown is a father of 2 young children, holds a bachelor's degree in business management. He has over 23 years of experience in the sales field from multiple positions, from sales rep to sales management. He's a best-selling author. The book, Master the Art of Closing the Sale, the game-changing 10-step sales process for getting more clients and referrals. And, of course, a popular sales blog now at 360salesconsulting.com. So how did you get into sales first and foremost, Ben?
Well, it's like anything else. It's not as traditional because it's not a major in college. It's one of those things that you actually fall into. Like people have the actor's bug. But I fell into it from the gym business where I was doing personal training, and then got into it and realized that I kind of had the knack, what people say the knack for sales, which is an outgoing personality.
Right.
But then learning that it took skills and a lot of practice with that personality. And I got into it and also realized you can control your income, which fluctuates. It's just like acting. But if you're good at it, you can fluctuate your income and you can make more than anybody else. So those people that have that outwardly personality, it can grab that and be able to express it more because that's your job, really. It is.
Absolutely.
So
and
you
the
can
personality opens the door, right? And then you have to have the skill sets to be able to continue.
Stay in the door. So I could take somebody that's introverted and make them a better salesperson than somebody that's extroverted.
Okay.
Because it basically is just like I tell people, sales is a skill. So even though you have the personality and you might have the mantra for it, it doesn't mean you're going to be successful because it's really about maintaining a constant level of improvement. So every day you walk in to do sales, you have to realize that you're either getting better or worse every day. It's a moving scale, so it's a skill. So you have to work at it. So say, for example, somebody who's outgoing that has a great personality, attracts everybody. He's in sales. Sales always fluctuates. So those people don't pay attention to the small things, the numbers. They
Right.
just think they're great.
Right.
And what happens when a trend comes in or something changes or they took a step out that they didn't even know about because they're not following the step, they're just being personality-wise. But suddenly over a period of time, they got too arrogant and something changed in their pitch. But they're not able to pinpoint it because they didn't pay attention to it. So their sales starts dropping, and then, of course, your attitude drops, and then your enthusiasm drops, and then your confidence drops, and then over a period of time, it starts coming down. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And
especially if you've been very successful, the ego does get in the way, and you don't know what you don't know until you've hit bottom or come darn close to it.
Yes. So you have to understand what's happening in those small parts because it does fluctuate. It's no constant in sales. And so, I've had successful people that have been in sales tremendously, and then they just stopped doing what they was doing to get successful, but they didn't know what it was. They didn't put a process together.
I found something interesting, and this was many years ago. I was in radio for a very long time and trained salespeople for a while. And one of the things I always found was when a new salesperson starts, even though they don't know what they don't know, they're very successful right out of the gate because they're hungry, they got the enthusiasm, they got the personality. And then if they take the time to be patient and learn and grow, man, they can be very successful. But to come out of the gate the way they do sometimes, have you run into that?
Yeah, success could be a bad part for them because it is, a small story. I worked in sales where I was commissioned only for 3 years. 3 years, where I wrote my check every week, and then got into another position where they actually gave me a salary. And so the guy said, "We're going to start you off at 35,000." I said, 35,000 leads? Because we fought for leads. He said, no. He said, no, we're going to start you off at 35,000 K. I'm like, you going to pay me to actually just walk in the building? He was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, this is great. Where have I've been doing the wrong thing. Meanwhile, I'm making, $1,000, $1,500 a week, more than most people in the state of Florida. So I was making a lot, but I had to work for it every day.
Yeah.
So there is a point when I've been in positions where I hired for companies, which is one of my specialties. I can hire for sales, because if you don't know sales, how are you going to hire a salesperson?
Right.
So they bring me on to hire people. And I come into that situation. I said, well, what did you start paying them? I said, well, we started them off at 50. I'm like, you don't start a salesperson at 50 and then tell him he can't get a sale for 2 months, because, man, if I had that, all I know is all I got to do is sit on my butt for 2 weeks, because it's an action skill. But
Correct.
you can't give a salesperson too much in the beginning, because their ability to go out and feed is why they're there, and that's what makes them special. So if you give a salesperson too much money, it will kill them. It will kill them.
And your turnover will be crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the difference is having that balancing act between salary of making sure that they're there and understanding the company, that they don't want to go anywhere else, and giving them the ability to work, and which that really is, because the first thing a salesperson comes when he comes to a position is, how much am I going to make and how much time it's going to take me to get it.
Right.
They do it just like anybody in entertainment. It's a gig to them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
How long? Because are you going to give me medical benefits? No. Okay. So you're going to give me a base plus commission. All right. I know I can sell. I can sell anything. What is it worth my time being doing it for you?
Right. Yeah. There's got to be a relationship from the get-go, so everybody's on the same page, right?
Yeah. Or he's leaving, or you're going to fire him. And then, the worst thing that I do with most companies is the most common thing is that rotation of hiring and firing.
Yeah.
It just kills you, because one of the companies I did for recently, they hired me to bring it in X amount of dollars, and it took me 60 days to bring in 5 people. We interviewed 180 resumes. We did a 3-tier interview process where it was a 4-tier. I did the first 3, then I brought it to the owners to filter them all out, and we got all the way down from 168 down to 5, and we hired 2.
Wow!
But I had I had the resumes, which was about 200 out of 200. I personally interviewed maybe 120 for 30 to 45 minutes, and then went through a second stage and another stage and another stage and another stage. It takes time, and that took a lot to get those 2 people. So imagine trying to get 10.
Well, exactly. And the other thing I like about that a lot is they had the confidence and the ability to bring you in. Somebody that knows what they're doing, able to screen and hire salespeople, because oftentimes, at least in my experience, managers and owners, they want to work and need to be working on their business. And yeah, they want to have salespeople to help them grow. But why not bring somebody in that knows what the heck they're talking about to be able to maximize the opportunity to get great salespeople and reduce those turnover costs?
The first thing I tell the owner is, I said, any salesperson, the first thing they need to know how to do is what? Sell themselves.
Right.
Right. So when you're on an interview, any salesperson of any caliber should be able to sell themselves. You got to be able to see through that, because I don't want to waste my time with this person.
Absolutely.
So that's where the high turnover comes up. So he's like, well, I interview people, and I said, do you know sales? And they go, no. I said, so how are you going to sell? How are you going to hire somebody for sales if you don't know sales?
Exactly.
So that person that you're talking to across the desk is in sales. The first thing he knows how to do is actually sell himself, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where your turnover comes in. And I get the epiphany for a lot of guys who are like, I can't believe that. I had all these people, and I'm like, if you don't know how to sell, you don't know what you're looking for. So you're hiring somebody based upon what they're telling you, which they're selling you, which sometimes is not true.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right.
So your turnover is based on somebody because you started out at $50,000 base in Florida, which is tremendous. Which means I could just live on the base.
Right.
I don't have to work. You know, in Florida, cost of living is cheap. $50,000 base is, I can live on that.
I could live on that.
I don't need to go out. Yeah, I don't need to go crazy. I say you gave them. Well, I'll give you an example. One of my guys I work for, he said you brought him in. He gave him $50,000 base, and he told him, because it was one of the toughest sales, which is advertisement. He gave him $50,000, and he told the guy that I don't expect you to get any sales for at least 6 months.
Oh my gosh!
I said,
are you kidding me right now? You just shot yourself in the foot, dude. Wow!
I'm telling you, the stories that I get, it's like The Prophet. Did you watch The Prophet on TV? When people call me in and I analyze their company, I don't do the profit deal, right? I just do the sales aspect.
Right.
Where's the money coming in? Who you talking to? And I can analyze the company based on, I don't even have to be there. I just understand the systems. And normally I can find cracks where they're losing money right away.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And then I come in and analyze, and I'm like, you did what? And he's like, yeah. I was like, do you understand what you just did? I said, you told me I'm coming in and I'm paying you $60,000 to sit for 6 months. I don't expect any type of return on my investment for 6 months.
Yeah, just write me a check for $300,000 and I'll see you in 6 months.
And I said, what happened? He said he sat down and he just, meandered around. I said, yeah, because you gave him those expectations.
Yep.
You told him 6 months. So you're contractually obligated to hold him. So out of $60,000, I'm guaranteed $30,000 without any recourse. And at the end of 6 months, I said, what happened? He said, I finally fired him. I couldn't fire him to that time. I'm like, yeah, because you set those expectations.
Exactly. Oh, my gosh.
As a salesperson, I'm on vacation till my next gig. All I got to do is sit here for the next 6 months, collect $30,000, and I'm moving on and don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I can spend my 6 months looking for another gig that's just as easy as this one. Oh, that's pathetic. I mean, it's true, but it's pathetic. Gee whiz. Oh, my goodness. So how do businesses find you? How do they go, hey, we need Ben Brown and we need him now?
It's amazing that I'm not good at marketing, and I'm good at doing what I do, and marketing sucks.
Yeah.
This is a different thing. I'm sales. So I do LinkedIn. A lot of people find me through different things. I'm in the Tampa Bay area, so a lot of companies, when they find me, they don't understand the aspect of sales. So a lot of things I do is I started changing my mantra towards people on the entry level of sales instead of people that thought they knew it all. Because, it's a process.
Yeah.
It's very simple. It's just a process. And if you can understand the process and practice, which I tell people is the most key component, is practicing because it's theory.
Absolutely.
I can read the Bible, but if I don't understand the Bible, I can't preach it.
Right.
So in sales, the 10-step process I do is based on, you don't have to do all 10 steps. Some businesses are different, but I'm just basically just trying to tell you that, if you understand the 10 steps, you can move on and actually be very successful. Because one of the things which is most important in this interview that I'll cover, is that somebody come to me and say, well, we sell this, right? And I said, okay. And we do this. It's technical. It does this, and this. And I go, great. And I go, and they're like, I don't know if you can help us. And I'm like, I said, do you understand a sale is a sale? Doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
I said, I really don't care what you're selling. I really don't care. I care about the process.
Yeah.
So once you start getting in the weeds, especially guys that are technical, means they talk too much.
For sure.
They talk too much. They get too much in the details, and I'm like, I said, you give me a one sheet description of the product, of what it does, the benefits that it does, the technical aspects of it, the cost of it, the breakdown of it, and you give me a list, and I guarantee you within 6 hours I'll have a sale. Well, I don't know about that because it's a tertiary process, and I understand there's long processes and things like that.
Right.
But I used to do it all the time. I work for a company, basically based on the movie Boiler Room. I could write a script on that because that's what we did. In a room, 125 people, jamming out 150 calls of cold calling per day.
Right.
Rolling out $1,500 in return. And they'll come out on Monday with a new product and say, here's a new product. Here's what it does. Like a new stock, right?
Right. Yeah.
Here's a new product. Here's what it does. Have we seen it? No. Have we touched it? No. Have we tasted it? No. Nothing. And they had a one-page sheet on it, and they'll pull out some leads and say, get on the phone, and I guarantee you within 2 hours, sales start getting put on the board.
Yeah, because they had a process.
They had a process.
Yeah.
We could have changed over from software and said, we shut down software, the market, we got bought out, we're doing refrigerators. And I'd be like, okay, what's the commission? Oh, you go to 30% instead of 20%. Okay, you got us some leads? Yeah, here's the leads. I'll be on the phone in 30 minutes. Vince Johnson, when's the last time you ever thought about buying some new refrigerators?
I love it, man. Oh, my
Right?
gosh. Oh, my gosh. That's so much fun. I love that those stories. Wow.
Yeah. So I tell people, sales is a communication. It's a different language, but the same language.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing. You're having a conversation. That's why people say the negative connotation with sales. I don't want to sound too salesy. I said there's no such thing.
No.
I said sales is all around. I said, do you have children? Yeah. They're selling you all the day. They're closing you. They're not giving you a sales pitch, but they're closing you.
Yeah.
And one of my top 4 salespeople, the top end one, and I know we don't have a lot of time, but my 4th salesperson is a homeless person. One of the best salespeople in the United States, and I'll give you one, is a homeless person. Why? Because they know the market. If they have any consciousness, they can go to any corner in that area. They know the traffic that's going up there. They can go out there, and normally a homeless person can generate between $300 and $800 a day.
Yeah.
So I take that as the same caveat when I'm working with a business person that's not doing outgoing, which I call proactive sales instead of reactive.
Yeah.
Reactive means, you get stuff just coming in. You got emails, you got phone. I'm talking about outbound, proactive.
Yeah.
And I said, how much you making as an entrepreneur today? I'm making 50. I said, a homeless person can make $800 a day. And I said, well, you see them out there, you feel sorry for them. I said, now, what are they selling? First of all, what bills do a homeless person have? You have no bills.
Right.
You have a bank account. You have an accountant. You probably have CRM costs. You have website costs. You have phone bill. You got cell phone. You got office costs. You got cars. You got gas. You got all of this stuff, and you're not making $800 a day. But a homeless person can go out there and make $800 a day if he's hustling, right?
Right.
And I said, here's number 2. What is a homeless person selling you?
And what do they say?
Exactly.
Well,
what is they selling you? And I go, what
something
are
on
they
the
selling?
cardboard that caught my attention, and it was kind of emotional, and I
it
felt sorry for him.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. I said,
Right,
okay,
right.
makes you feel good. But if you hold out your hand, what do you get from them?
Right.
When they sell you, when you give them money, what do you get? Nothing.
Nothing.
And I go to them, and you want to listen to this very close. And I said, there's a person out there that's making $300 to $800 a day out there hustling, making that, and selling absolutely, positively nothing. You have a company, have an infrastructure, and you can't match that.
Wow. I bet the jaw just drops.
And that's when they get, okay, I got it. And I
All
said, number 4 on that for mine out of the 4 deals is that homeless person. The reason why they're successful at sales because there's characteristics of what you make you successful as a salesperson. And a child's number 1 because they constantly close.
You bet.
But for a homeless person, the reason they're successful is because they're focused. They're not focused on anything else but the next dollar.
Yep.
So as business people, you're focused on accounting, marketing. When we go do this, Twitter, Facebook, all this other stuff. Meanwhile, that homeless person is only focused on sales.
Yep.
So when are you just going to focus on sales?
Absolutely.
And
Wow.
that's why a homeless person is kicking your butt with no product, maybe a cell phone, no website, and making more money tax-free than you per day.
And your feel good lasts till you turn the corner. That's part 1 of our interview with Ben Brown.
Your 20-minute podcast with David Brower has been brought to you by Audible. You can listen to any of David's podcasts anywhere podcasts can be found, including iHeartRadio, the Spotify mobile app, and at davidbrowervo.com/your20-minute podcast. Until next time, thanks for listening.